Well, let's hope this works.
Okay. Should I read the question? Ready?
Yay! Ready. Question 1.
When you started drawing comics, what was your process and thoughts?
When I started, I did not have any process or any plan or idea how to do anything because, well, that's not what beginners do. Beginners just start, and so did I. I came back home after work and I would just doodle. I didn't have much time because I had a day job that took most of my day and energy. So I just had to use whatever I have left. And I didn't have any process. And I think that's also a good tip for beginners to not worry about figuring out everything, because beginning is beginning. It's a time to learn, and well, nothing can help you learn more than just doing it. So if it is a question about beginning, then I didn't know anything. I was just drawing, and I was drawing what makes me happy.
What are some of your motivations that keep you doing art? And what made you go with the sort of mixed manga, semi-realism art style you have?
So motivations are I don't need motivation to draw because I do love drawing, and I'm really always looking forward to the time that I can spend drawing. And what motivates me is to just see the results, to see what I can create on the day. I don't think I need anything else. If your question was more about inspiration, then what inspires me is what I find beautiful. So beautiful pictures, beautiful places I visit, people I see on the way, or just anything I can look at. Pictures in a magazine. Inspiration is everywhere. Motivation comes within me. And was there anything else in the question?
What made you go with the manga and semi-realism art style you have?
Oh, that thing. This isn't something I chose myself. I just did realistic style before, but I was always in love with manga, and I think it just got mixed in the process by accident. So that's not something I chose to do. It's just something that just came out from how I used to draw, from the techniques I know, and from the past experiences. It's not really something I consciously chose. It's just what happened.
Why do you consider anatomy so important to learn for drawing anime/manga?
Anatomy is what's gonna make you stand out from among the artists. Good artists know anatomy, bad artists just draw wacky things, break arms, and draw stuff too long, too far apart, and it's just like lacking anatomy. A lot of times you can skip learning anatomy and obviously just draw by the feeling, but you can trip and fall with the mistakes that can happen. Some stuff might just become too difficult to make, or you draw something without understanding it, and then the lack of anatomy knowledge is gonna come out. And I think this is what really puts separately amateur and professional artists. Professional artists do pay attention and study anatomy, while amateurs just draw.
Okay, what are some tips or exercises that can help improve my coloring?
I think studying color theory, there's a lot about it in there. I know this on my own example because I do struggle a lot when choosing colors, when coloring, doing the shading, and it's because I don't draw enough. I might have the knowledge, I might have studied a lot, but there is this practice thing that I'm missing. So definitely practice and just drawing, seeing colors in different photos, how they work, maybe finding photos that you like and redrawing your own drawings in the same colors, and just trying to think what makes it look nice, what makes it work. What is the color of light, the shadow? How can you push colors? So if the shadow just looks gray but slightly bluish, maybe make it more saturated. And I think practice and just experimenting with things might help.
Okay, what is your favorite anime?
I don't know actually. It changes, I think. But definitely animations from all animes, probably from Kyoto Animation, and not because of the story, but more because of what they look like, how they're animated, and how I can't stop watching them. I even replay them in slow motion to just check every single frame how it was drawn. So I wouldn't say any particular anime, but all animes from Kyoto Animation are definitely my biggest inspirations and something I love the most.
Okay, who would you say had the biggest influence on you and your current art style?
There are many artists and people in general that inspired me, but I think the biggest one would be Ilya Kuvshinov, thanks to whom I started the daily challenge. I started drawing every day and really pushing myself. And I think I took a lot of inspiration from his art too.
Do you have any waifus? Do you have any other talents?
I'm not sure about talents. I did play the piano before and I was not bad at it, so I guess I have some music talent maybe. I did sing on television once, but I don't think that's a talent of mine. I was terrible. At school, I used to be good at many subjects. I loved physics, I loved maths. I just found it very easy to learn. So maybe if they're considered talents, but I didn't do anything with them, so I'm not amazing in anything at the moment. I have practiced art the most. And I think too, talent practice is a big thing.
Did you have any mentors along the way? And what was some of the advice you've gotten that's really influenced you, whether it's your drawing style, habits, longevity of hands or art supplies, etc.?
I did have a mentor, and from for some time, for a few months probably, that was checking up on my art and seeing from what he thought I was making wrong or what I could improve on. And he was telling me to obviously practice more and do more studies, anatomy studies. And I think this is what I took away from it. I do if I'm stuck or art block, I come back to doing studies and. Yeah, that's what I took out from the mentorship. Even though it's over now and I'm not having any mentors, I still come back to these techniques that I've learned.
How do you travel with so much stuff?
Is that the question?
Yeah.
It is hard. Together, both of us have allowance of 2 checked-in luggages and 2 carry-ons, so we have minimized to fit a few of t-shirts and 1 or 2 pairs of pants, and then everything else is equipment like markers and paper, pens, books, and microphones, laptops, cables. There's so much stuff, but well, it is all about minimizing what we need in life. So everything that I can buy where I am at, we just don't take and we buy it on the spot.
How would you go in studying figure drawing and anatomy?
Of course, studying is not enough. I know I keep saying study, but I didn't mention that studying is redrawing, so that's the best practice in my opinion. Just looking and reading about what are muscles called or how the human body is built. I think the most important part is actually drawing these parts. It might not be pleasant, it might be boring to some, it might be oh, why do I have to draw muscles? But I think this is the best practice to learning anatomy, is just redrawing it and trying to understand how it all works under the skin, how it all works inside the body to not break bones or muscles.
Do you have any plans to do a signing or a meetup in the SEA region?
I have not been invited to anything, and I don't have plans to go or do signings in any of that. It is a lot of cost and what's the word? Organization? To do such a thing, so I will not do it on my own. But if there is any publishers or anybody who wants to invite me and help me organize such an event, of course I would do such a thing.
Favorite holiday destination and why?
Japan, because it's just such a huge influence to my art and I love Japan and blooming cherry trees.
What would be your recommendation for someone struggling to learn how to draw?
To just draw more and practice. Yeah, you're even saying that for me. You know. You can skip practice. If you're struggling with something, just draw more of it. Force yourself. And try to look at your drawings and see and think what isn't working, what's lacking, what's not looking good, and keep drawing.
What has been the most challenging and most rewarding part since you decided to pursue art as a career?
Oh my god, this is such a long question. We could probably do like a whole hour of talking about this. The biggest challenging was definitely to do the whole art thing, because there's so much more to it than just art. There's all the paperwork, taxes to do, the trying to find clients, selling yourself, whether online or on Comic Cons, just trying to look for income streams and learning how to juggle work and responding to messages, emails, and inquiries, try to value yourself. Everything is a struggle, and I feel like I'm still learning. Was there anything else to the question?
No. So everything but the art part. Nice.
Everything but the art part is a struggle. Who told me to become an artist? Anyway, next question.
What is your favorite digital art app and device?
It's probably Photoshop and Cintiq tablet, but because I'm traveling and I can't access any of that right now, I would say iPad Pro and Procreate, because this is a device on the go, so I can just draw wherever I am.
Do you have a favorite food?
Yes, it is ketchup.
Okay, for beginners that want to go to digital art, would you recommend Procreate with the iPad or with a tablet like the Wacom XP Pen?
They are so much different, and it's not said that if you learn to draw on the tablet, you'll know how to draw on the iPad and vice versa. I do really struggle with iPad still, because I've started drawing on tablet before. I do have XP Pen, and I do struggle drawing on it too. I do like my Cintiq because I have drawn on it more. So whatever the device of your choice, I'm pretty sure you can learn to draw on the device. And it's not about what's better. It's about like what's better for you. What do you like more, or whatever is your budget.
Was there another field you would have gone to if you hadn't gone into art?
When I was applying to the university, I have chosen Art University, and my second choice was studying languages, and my third choice was going to the Polytechnics to study physics. So I guess maybe languages, probably being a translator. However, at that time I was applying to learn a Finnish language. So life takes you in different directions.
What do you do to prepare for a drawing of fan art? Sometimes there's limited resources available for reference and the like, so how do you work around that?
Well, what do you mean by limited resources? Well, if the resources are limited, you just use whatever is available to you. I remember I had a commission on the Comic Con of a character that I didn't know before, and like it was really hard to find screenshots of that character. So I couldn't use the that I really wanted for the character. I kind of had to work from references because she was only shown at one angle, and that's the same angle I had to draw her in because of the limited resources. So I guess if the resources are limited, maybe just tailor the drawing towards the resources. However, fan arts are not that important, so just opt out for drawing original characters and you're safe.
What were some of your biggest challenges starting in your art career?
Well, the whole transition from working in the office to being self-employed artist was a big challenge, and I wasn't sure if I can make it, so I didn't leave my job straight away. I asked for a leave of absence. I have left for 6 months, but with a chance to return to work after 6 months if it doesn't work out for me. I did some traveling, I did some work from home, and I managed somehow. I was very disorganized, and I hoped to become more organized later, which never happened. It just got worse. But that was a big struggle.
What is your personal favorite art piece so far?
I'll show one here.
What are your art goals at the moment and in 5 years? Is there anything that you really want to achieve with your art?
I want to make animations, so I need to become a bit more consistent in my art style and learn how to simplify it for the purpose of animation. So because I am struggling to draw the same character a few times from different angles, I think I would have to practice this.
What are your art goals at the moment?
Well, I think it's just getting better at drawing and at anatomy.
My favorite question.
Yes.
Why aren't you verified on IG?
Well, I apply every day and I just don't get it.
What brushes do you use on Procreate? Do you have any advice or video about digital brushes?
I don't, because I use a standard round brush with a opacity. Opacity pressure. But you press harder and it's less transparent. And it is a really standard brush.
How do you shade and color digitally as well as traditionally? How long have you been using Copics?
Well, you can't learn. I feel like I'm just repeating the same thing over and over again. But maybe if you're listening to it, you'll understand how important is practicing. And I'll tell you a funny story, which is when I first bought an iPad. It was Christmas and I thought I'd treat myself, and because there was like a break from work or holiday, I thought I'd buy an iPad and I'll just spend 2 weeks drawing on iPad and Procreate. I'll be a master on digital drawing. And what actually happened was me returning iPad and returning Procreate for refund after 2 weeks, because nothing I drew was good at all. I hated it. It was ridiculously hard to draw. Everything was annoying me, and I thought, no way I could draw on iPad and Procreate. So that would be me doing digital art. I had a tablet before and I did stuff on the tablet, and I struggled just like I did. I thought new equipment and a new program and something that's so advertised and everybody else is using, I'll definitely get much better just by having it, and that wasn't the case. I can only say I've learned how to use iPad after a year of actually using it and doing some really hard work in it, even through struggles, even through like, oh, I can't draw it, I don't like this pen pressure and all the other things being annoying. Only after a year of actually using it, I can tell that I've learned how to use it. So the same would be for shading and coloring. Nothing is gonna look good to you, or just, you can't learn anything without the actual work and hours you put in it. If it's not working, if it's not looking good, try to simplify your process. Do really maybe flat colors and just add one layer of flat shading. Observe nature, how shadows appear in real life, and try to imitate it in your drawings. And again, practice, practice, and practice.
Do you have a certain pattern to post on your Instagram? I noticed your postings since a year are right side only black and white and middle and left are colored. If so, did that improve the amount of people following?
Oh, well, yes, this is my hell of a pattern, which I really want to stop doing, but I just can't. I don't know, maybe it's an OCD thing, because I like things to look organized, and like I do like patterns. Damn, I really like patterns. So I do it. It's not like left, right side, because when you post something, everything shifts, everything moves. So it's just one traditional drawing, one digital drawing, and one black and white, either pencil sketch or pen sketch or digital sketch. So like sketch, traditional, and digital. That's my pattern. And did it? No, I don't think it did help my follower count. Well, it definitely stopped me from posting as often as I would, because sometimes I would do 3 traditional drawings in a row and I would be stuck with a digital drawing, which would stop me from posting. And then the less active you are on social media, the less active you're online, the less people are gonna see you and follow you. So I think it was actually the opposite that it has done to me, but I just can't stop this pattern.
Can I get a hug at Dokumi?
Oh, regarding hugs, and I am usually very open when at comic conventions, and I do shake hands, and sometimes I cuddle people or take pictures with them. But with what's happening in the world recently, I think I'll definitely stop having any physical contact with anybody that's coming. Maybe a picture, but through the table, and we'll put some hand sanitizer on the table too. But yeah, I definitely think no close contact with anybody anymore.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, that was our first Q&A, and
Do you want to say anything?
I do want to say that it was hella stressful, and I struggled pressing the record button for so many weeks, and like we tried to record with my face in it, but it's not gonna happen ever. So I did a drawing for the Q&A. Hope you enjoyed seeing the process.
Inspirational words.
And something inspirational. I think I would say just do it. And that I hope to watch the video and hear it myself, because we struggled with just doing this Q&A for so long. So until hopefully next Q&A, if it happens, and it will if we still have Patreon count over 500, I will commit to the promise that I made, and hope you enjoyed and have a nice time drawing. Bye.
Yay, I'm so happy.
That we finally did it. Now we have to edit it because we have 2 angles. Okay, I want to edit it now actually, but I want to finish the drawing first. Should I finish the drawing?